Eat these 5 powerful foods on a daily basis to prevent muscle loss if you are over the age of 65 and want to maintain your strength. Do you believe that you are consuming the appropriate nutrients to maintain the strength of your muscles? If you make even a minor adjustment to the way you eat, you might be amazed at how big of a difference it can make. It is more common than you might imagine for older folks to have a decrease of muscle mass. Not only does it have an impact on how we move, but it also has an impact on how we live. Weak muscles mean that we have poor balance, that we fall more frequently, that we have less independence, and that we heal more slowly when we are sick or injured. The most frightening aspect is that the majority of people aren't even aware that it's happening until it has already begun to make their day-to-day lives more difficult. Once we reach the age of 65, our bodies are no longer able to retain muscle in the same way that they once did. In spite of the fact that you are following what you consider to be a healthy diet, it is possible that this will not be sufficient to halt the gradual loss of muscle mass. However, the good news is that there are particular meals that can be of assistance. In this video, we are going to discuss 5 powerful foods that not only help prevent muscle loss after the age of 65, but also make you feel more energized, steady, and confident in yourself. Keep reading to the very end, because we are going to explain how these straightforward foods can safeguard your mobility and ensure that you continue to be independent for many years to come. To ensure that you do not miss any videos, I strongly suggest that you subscribe to the channel and activate the bell if you have not already done so. It's time to get started. First and foremost, salmon and protein that is rich in omega-3 fatty acids. Not only is salmon good for your heart, but it is also one of the healthiest foods you can eat if you are struggling to maintain your muscle mass after the age of 65. This is due to the fact that it has a potent combination of omega-3 fatty acids and contains a high amount of protein that is easily absorbed. The majority of people often think of meat as a source of protein, however. Salmon provides protein in a form that is easier on your digestive system and is significantly more helpful when paired with healthy fats. Omega-3 fatty acids are beneficial not only for the cardiovascular system and the brain, but they also enhance the way in which your muscles react to protein and physical exercise. This is something that becomes increasingly crucial as we get older. When you don't consume omega-3 fatty acids, it will be more difficult for you to create muscle. Salmon has another benefit that is less well known, and that is that it helps reduce inflammation. Chronic inflammation is one of the factors that contributes to the loss of muscle mass in people who are older. In a state of persistent low-grade inflammation, your body is able to tear down tissue at a rate that is greater than the rate at which it can build it. Omega-3 fatty acids act as a cooling system for the internal fire of your body, so protecting your muscles from the progressive deterioration that occurs over time. When you combine this with the entire amino acid profile of salmon, you get a diet that not only nourishes your muscles but also protects them from damage. Take Margaret, who is 68 years old and used to believe that salmon was nothing more than an expensive restaurant entree. She began when her physician informed her that she was losing muscle at a greater rate than she had anticipated. 2 times a week, she will incorporate salmon into her diet, whether it was grilled, baked, or even canned. Whatever was accessible and economical was used. Although she did not become a bodybuilder overnight, she did begin to notice that getting out of bed in the morning did not feel like a chore anymore. This was a significant transition for her. Her equilibrium became more stable. Following her gardening, she did not feel as winded. That is not a happenstance at all. In other words, salmon is doing its job. A further point that people overlook is the ease with which salmon can now be obtained. It is not necessary to purchase wild-caught fillets each and every time. Salmon that has been canned and has bones is also a good source of calcium. It is beneficial for the bones and muscles together. Be wary of brands that include sodium that has been added, and make your selections carefully. Additionally, if you do not enjoy the flavor, you may try combining it with lemon, herbs, or even a small amount of plain yogurt dressing in order to adjust it to your liking. A fondness for it is not required of you. All you need to do is allow it to assist you. Everyone has the same goal: to age with dignity, to be able to walk around freely, and to avoid using wheelchairs and hospital beds. One of the aspects of that is most frequently neglected is nutrition. Salmon can be a straightforward and effective weapon in your arsenal. In addition, if you are serious about maintaining your strength, you should make advantage of this equipment. Greek yogurt and fermented dairy products come in at number 2. Despite the fact that Greek yogurt is typically considered a morning or snack food, it is much more than that for people who are over the age of 65. It is a compact powerhouse of nutrients that stimulate muscle growth, giving high-quality protein, calcium, probiotics, and B vitamins in a single smooth spoonful containing all of these nutrients. Because of the natural process of aging, our digestive system becomes less efficient, and our capacity to produce and utilize protein decreases. Greek yogurt is a good option for this situation. Due to the fact that its protein is highly bioavailable, your body does not have to exert a lot of effort in order to break it down and use it for the purpose of muscle building and repair. However, the advantages extend beyond the protein. One of the most valuable aspects of Greek yogurt is the presence of probiotics. As we become older, the microbiome in our stomach undergoes changes. Absorption of nutrients might be hindered by a stomach that is not in a state of balance. Moreover, even the best foods won't be of much use to your muscles if you are unable to absorb the nutrients that you consume. The gut's natural balance can be restored with the help of probiotics. This ensures that a greater quantity of nutrients are delivered to their intended destinations, including the nutrients that your muscles require. I'll illustrate this with an example. Robert, who is 72 years old, had been experiencing feelings of lethargy for many years. He assumed that it was simply the natural process of aging. However, his daughter suggested that he consider substituting his morning cereal with a cup of plain Greek yogurt, along with a handful of almonds and a few pieces of fruit. In a matter of weeks, his digestion turned around. Even more significantly, his energy levels increased, and his physician observed an improvement in the tone of his muscles during his annual visit. There is only one meal change. For example, this is the kind of influence that we are discussing. Greek yogurt is a versatile product, which is another one of its strengths. Although there are some individuals who do not enjoy the sourness, this can be readily remedied by adding a drizzle of honey or sliced banana. As an alternative to sour cream, you may incorporate it into smoothies, or you can whisk it into soups to add an additional layer of creaminess and nutritional value. It's one of those odd foods that can be enjoyed with both sweet and savory dishes at the same time. The question of convenience is another one to consider. Everyone does not have the energy to prepare each and every meal. There is no need to prepare Greek yogurt any further. Simply remove the lid and consume the food. It is possible that this simplicity will make a world of difference for elderly people who may live alone, suffer from arthritis, or have mobility concerns. And when a dish is simple to prepare, you are more likely to consume it on a regular basis, which is essential when you are attempting to combat the age-related reduction in muscle mass. Let's not overlook the importance of calcium and vitamin B12 either. In order for your nervous system to effectively communicate with your muscles, you need to have strong bones, and your muscles need to have strong bones. All of it is contained within that single cup. If you want to maintain healthy muscles, this is one of the most effective foods you can consume. In the event that you have been relying on toast and coffee each morning, it may be time to make some adjustments to your routine. It might not seem like a big problem at first, but over time, the decisions you make on a daily basis can either develop or break your strength. Greek yogurt is one of those decisions. Be careful not to undervalue it. I would appreciate it if you could use the second comment section below to let me know that you are continuing viewing this video and that you are finding these insights to be helpful. I strongly suggest that you subscribe to the channel and activate the bell if you have not already done so. This will ensure that you do not miss any videos. With your assistance, we are able to continue producing high-quality content that will both inform and inspire you. Let's proceed with our plans now. The third item on the list is leafy greens such as spinach and kale. It is possible that when you think about muscle power, you do not think of leafy greens, yet. This would be a significant omission on your part. Vegetables such as spinach, kale, and collard greens are more than just items that are served as a side dish. They include a high concentration of magnesium, potassium, calcium, and nitrates, all of which are essential components in the process of muscular contraction, the introduction of oxygen, and the generation of cellular energy. When a person reaches the age of 65, their systems start to slow down, and their natural support becomes increasingly important. One example is magnesium, which has a role in the regulation of neuron and muscle function. Insufficiency can result in symptoms such as weakness, weariness, and even cramping. Along with sodium, potassium is responsible for ensuring that the fluids in and around muscle cells are kept in the appropriate balance. In addition, calcium is not only beneficial for bones, as you are undoubtedly already aware. Moreover, it facilitates the efficient contraction of muscles. The fact that these minerals need to operate together in harmony is something that the majority of people fail to recognize. And greens such as kale and spinach provide them in the ideal proportions straight from nature. Nevertheless, there is another thing, something that the majority of people fail to see. Eat a lot of leafy greens since they contain a lot of dietary nitrates, which your body can convert into nitric oxide. Blood arteries are widened and circulation is improved as a result of this chemical. When your blood flow is improved, your muscles receive a greater amount of oxygen and nutrients, regardless of whether they are at rest or in motion. This has the potential to improve endurance, lessen feelings of weariness, and even speed up recovery after engaging in physical exercise. In a study that was carried out on older persons, it was discovered that those who frequently consumed vegetables that were rich in nitrates had stronger leg muscles and walked quicker than those who did not consume such veggies. That is a significant piece of good news for a population that is at risk of losing their mobility and independence. One serving of greens each day is all that is required. No fancy supplements. To add insult to injury, there is also a psychological impact. Consuming greens on a daily basis has the effect of making you feel better about the decisions you make. You carry yourself in a different manner. It is possible that this shift in mentality will lead to additional healthy behaviors, such as going for walks or doing light stretching without feeling like it is a duty. The result is a domino effect. One nutritious meal leads to another, and before you know it, you've established a foundation that bolsters your strength from the inside out. Take for example Shirley, who is 78 years old. She began including spinach into her omelette recipe for breakfast each and every morning. In addition, there was no change in her nutrition over the course of a few months. However, she saw that her legs did not hurt as much after she went for walks, and that she did not get as winded when descending the stairs. Small decisions can have a significant impact. At number 4, eggs, particularly the yolks of the eggs. Eggs were poorly understood for many of years. There was a fear of cholesterol. Therefore, people avoided eating the yolks, the act of discarding one of the most comprehensive sources of sustenance that nature provides. On the other hand, eggs, and whole eggs in particular, should be a staple for older adults who want to keep their muscle mass. The most essential component of their composition is leucine, which is abundant in high-quality protein, healthy fats, and B vitamins. One of the most important amino acids in the process of muscle protein synthesis is leucine, which is an essential amino acid. This indicates that it assists your body in the process of constructing and repairing muscle, particularly after you have eaten. Particularly notable is the fact that a single big egg has approximately 6 grams of protein, with the majority of the leucine being found in the yolk rather than the white. Therefore, when people throw away the yolk, they are throwing away the very component that encourages the formation of muscle. In addition, as we get older, our capacity to make effective utilization of the protein in our diet decreases. The protein found in eggs is extremely valuable for this reason. Complete, well-balanced, and simple to digest, it is a treat. Now, if you are curious about cholesterol, current scientific research has moved on from the antiquated notion that cholesterol in the diet is directly responsible for the development of cardiovascular disease. According to the findings of a number of research, eggs have a minimal to non-existent effect on the levels of cholesterol in the blood of the majority of people. When consumed in moderation, the benefits for older persons greatly outweigh the hazards that are associated with having them. Not only do the nutrients included in the yolk, such as vitamin D, choline, and selenium, help the function of the muscles, but they also support the health of the bones, the immune system, and the brain. Pertinence is the topic at hand. Eggs can be used in a variety of ways, are inexpensive, and can be cooked quickly. In addition to baking them into muffins or casseroles, you can also boil them, scramble them, poach them, or poach them. Eggs can serve as a source of protein without making you feel burdened down, making them an ideal choice for those who have difficulty chewing meats or who are looking for a lighter lunch. Additionally, they are a wonderful complement to veggies, which means that it is simple to construct a meal that is not only nutrient-dense but also makes you feel full. A real-life example is presented here. When Jerry was 69 years old, he would either completely miss breakfast or only grab some toast. However, once his physician informed him that he was experiencing a loss of muscle, he started eating 2 eggs that had been boiled with either spinach or avocado every morning. He noted an increase in his energy levels, an improvement in his digestion, and even a slight increase in the strength in his arms when he was carrying groceries within a few months. It wasn't a complete overhaul of the diet. It was simply a more prudent decision to make at the beginning of the day. In addition, there is a sense of emotional anchoring that comes from preparing eggs first thing in the morning. It is the same as before. It can bring back memories of slower mornings, breakfasts with the family, or a period when one's health did not feel as vulnerable as it does now. Because of the relationship between food, memory, and identity, habits can be strengthened and become more ingrained. Repeating something increases the likelihood that you will do it again if it makes you feel both healthy and at peace. If you are seeking for a single food that can provide you with all of the nutrients you need in just a few bites, then you need not look any farther than the humble egg, whether it be the yolk or the whole egg. I would appreciate it if you could use the 4th comment section below to let me know that you are continuing viewing this video and that you are finding these insights to be helpful. I strongly suggest that you subscribe to the channel and activate the bell if you have not already done so. This will ensure that you do not miss any videos. With your assistance, we are able to continue producing high-quality content that will both inform and inspire you. Let's proceed with our plans now. Lastly, some thoughts. It is not necessary to become a bodybuilder or to calculate each and every calorie in order to keep your muscle mass after the age of 65. Nonetheless, you must eat with purpose. Every single bite is more important than it was even a few decades ago. Moreover, making even minor adjustments on a regular basis might help you maintain your autonomy, vigor, and energy for a much longer period of time than you might anticipate. In addition to being nutritious, each of the 5 foods that we discussed today, salmon, Greek yogurt, lentils, pumpkin seeds, and eggs, also have other health benefits. They are useful, easily accessible, and supported by scientific research, and they assist your body in doing what it was intended to do, which is to repair, rebuild, and thrive. There is more to muscle loss than just a loss of strength or appearance. One must strike a balance. It is about being able to get out of a chair without having to use your hands. In the event that you trip, it is about catching yourself. Maintaining your self-assurance is essential, whether you are going for a walk outside or reaching for something that is on a high shelf. You can define the quality of your life by the minor moments that occur during the day. Additionally, if you take the correct foods seriously, They can be your most effective protection. You should reconsider your belief that it is too late to take charge of your health if you have ever had such belief. Your body is still able to react. Even now, your muscles are listening. All that is required of them is the appropriate fuel and the conviction that you are still deserving of being taken care of. Since you are the one, we appreciate you being here with us today. It would be wonderful if you could get in touch with us. Please leave a comment below and tell us about one item you discovered today and how you intend to put it to use in your life right now. We place a high value on your opinions, so please do not be reluctant to share them with us. Our inspiration and encouragement are greatly increased as a result of reading your remarks. I would appreciate it if you would like, subscribe, and share this video if you found it to be informative and enjoyable. With your assistance, we are able to continue producing high-quality content that will both inform and inspire you. We appreciate you taking the time to watch, and we hope to see you in the future video.